One.
Are we recording, Jackson? Okay. Welcome, everybody, to Around the Fort. We're kind of a little bit of an improvised edition here tonight. We have a late ad from the south side of town. I am Casey O'Boyle with Northeast Indiana Game Night, and it is week 7 of the high school football season 2025. It feels like it's August because it's in the 80s and it's October, but fall is coming and the football is heating up. And we've got great matchups this week to talk about. Again, I am Casey with Game Night. Across from me, our engineer, Jackson Geiger. Jackson still has not received a microphone yet. Someday we'll probably get him a headset so he can chime in, but right now he's waving at everybody. Thank you, Jackson. He does a fantastic job. To his right and my left, Brent X, former Bishop Luers offensive line coach, former player for the Knights. Welcome, Brent.
Thanks. I really wanted to come back to apologize to Coach Mosier and the Central Jets.
Did you use his bathroom like I did a few weeks ago? Oh no, sorry. That was the breakfast lunch. Those industrial oils will get you every time. But what do you have to apologize for, Brent?
I thought South Adams was going to come out and be able to throw the ball. It's kind of like we talked about. AC came out and established the ground control the first drive, 8 minutes, and then got a 3 and out, and then got a 6-minute drive, and from there it's history.
Joe Walburn
was right. Never underestimate the heart of a champion.
What's that acronym again?
NUTWAC.
NUTWAC. You and your dirty
euphemisms. No, never underestimate the heart of a champion.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
AC's a champ, and we'll see how. Now, remember we talked about the Andrean matchup? I'm starting to second guess that.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough, NUTWAC. To your right, my left, Jeff Stansky, former coach at Snyder and Bishop Luers, also baseball coach, mind you, still at Bishop Luers. Coach, welcome back to the couch.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to discussing these games for rivalry week. And
tip that down a little bit, Coach. Yeah. This is the microphone. There you go.
There you go. Looking forward to talking about rivalry week and the SAC and some of these great matchups we've got.
Okay. Well, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. And then to my immediate left, Jake the Snake Smith back in. He's not in the snake. What do we call that? The snake pit?
Snake pit.
Yeah. He's kind of out of because we ran out of microphones, but his dad's doing better. And that's the main thing. And we're so happy to have you back in the cave. Jake, welcome back.
Boy, it's great to be here. Dad's doing well. Appreciate the prayers and well wishes. And quick shout out before we get started. Just fantastic football game happened in 7th grade this week at Indian Springs Middle School with our East Noble Knights, our arch rivals. Great coaches, great football team. We edged them out. Probably would have played another quarter. We probably would have lost. Unfortunately for us, we probably have to play them in the championship again. So it's going to be a tough sledding for us, but we hope to get back there and see them. So we got some young dogs coming up in the NE8 and kind of prefaces the game for our varsity boys with the Knights on Friday. So pretty excited to be here.
Excellent. Well done. You're going to have to help me here, Snake. So bear with us as we juggle microphones tonight, folks. It's going to be fun. We're also watching the Major League Baseball playoffs, too. We got a lot of fandom down here. So if you hear an eruption, you'll know why. Let's go right to the rag. Jackson, if you would. Let's go to the cover. Props to Reggie Telemack on this design. It received a lot of good feedback on social media. But wow, what a fun cover. I'm going to let you guys talk about it. I was really pleased with it. Coach, I know you thought it was pretty neat being a teacher out at Luers. Were the kids excited to see this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're going to be pretty excited. I mean, and shocked how nice it is. And yeah, it's great to see some big boys on that cover there. There's some girth there.
Yeah, massive. There's a little play on words there, being the Battle of the Bishops, and they both will be presumably going to Mass before the game tomorrow night out at Luers Field. But got a big one there between Bishop Dwenger and Luers. And again, a fun cover. All those kids are really, really big beasts. You got the Taylor brothers, Ale and Jaron on the bottom right. Zach Wall, who's a 4-year starter on the offensive line. And, of course, Jonas Muya. What a specimen he is. I believe he just picked up an offer from West Virginia. And I'm hearing that some of the big boys are starting to sniff around. I don't know if you're hearing that too, Coach. But
yes, the same rumors. That are going around that he's starting to get noticed. For somebody who's, like I said, he's never played football before. So,
right.
So he's got a lot of potential.
Well, they say that it's all about size, and he's got it 6'8", 280, 285. And look at his arms. I mean, the guy looked, when he showed up at the photo shoot, he looked like he may as well have been Alabama's left tackle, and he just drove up and popped in at the photo shoot. But what a nice kid, and he's got great feet, so he's got a lot of upside. So we'll see, coaches can get him going in the right direction. So thank you for that, Jackson. And then go to page 2. We'll just take a quick peek at the game night gallery. Every year, guys, I feel compelled to showcase some of the artwork from the legion of photographers that contribute to game night. And I was originally just going to do the center spread, but there were so many pictures, and I was leaving so many out. And so I thought, you know what, we'll just put them on page 2 and the center spread. And I still probably could have used another 4 or 5 pages. So that's how many good photos that I had to, I guess, cut short. But
I don't know where you find these photographers, but every week I see new live action pictures.
Yeah,
that are just unbelievable.
Thank you. It's back in the day when Matt Bear and I were just starting with game night. He was more of the opinion, just the studio stuff, which is great. It's super important. Don't get portion of it. But I've always believed that it should be a balance between studio art and like what we showcased on the cover tonight, and then the live art too. And there's a ton. I mean, they're all wonderful, and they all do it on their own time. And I try to send them a few little goodies here or there, get them some game night swag. But for the most part, they're doing it strictly on a volunteer basis, and they do a great job. But there's some great pictures there. So if you have time, go to summitcitysports.com and check out the issue and zoom in on some of these pictures, or pick up a copy of game night tomorrow night and appreciate some of the art, because it's really, really good. I really like that bottom right photo of Sabrina Innes took that out at Heritage. I'm not even sure who that is. It's an assistant coach with a Heritage player, but it's just a
raw
great
emotions of the game.
Raw emotion. Yeah, just a great photo. The other picture there, bottom left.
It's like
I
Garrett
was going to hanging on, like if I had to write headlines, me and my headlines. Brent.
Oh, your headlines are something.
And the one above it too. A little Jay County getting in a little game night action, Eddie Field. So yeah, there's a lot of fun pics there. Check them out, folks. And again, thank you to the photographers. Okay, you guys ready to dive into some matchups? Jackson, will you give me 5 minutes on the clock? We're going to do the first 4 featured matchups, 5 minutes apiece, and we're going to start with Bishop Dwenger at Bishop Luers, the Battle of the Bishops. I think the marquee game on tonight's docket. And we're going to have the two fellows on the sofa kind of take this one. Coach, why don't we start with you? Dwenger at Luers, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, two coming off 2 different feelings. Luers winning now 3 in a row. Dwenger having a tough loss, pretty much dominating for 3.5 quarters, and having kind of the momentum switch, and Northrop pulling that game out. So kind of 2 different, coming off 2 different feelings there. I think Dwenger, obviously both teams are led by their defense. Dwenger runs that 3-3 stack, which makes it sometimes difficult to figure out where people are going to be, the way they slant, bring linebackers at different spots. And so that's going to give Luers some trouble, I think. And they play fast and downhill. And I think with their defense, it's going to be trouble moving the ball for the Knights. But with the Knights, they have seemed to catch on a little bit. Their quarterbacks were 10 of 11 last week for 180 yards against Concordia. They've got now kind of Ale Taylor playing a little bit of offense at tight end.
2 catches last week and 55-yard touchdown.
That's
that was
right.
Pretty cool.
He's kind of fitting that Chuck McBride spot, who is their leading receiver at tight end, but is out for the year. So he's playing a little bit of both. Now, Luers did get a play against Concordia, which does play a 3-3 stack as well. So I think that does help, playing 2 weeks in a row against that 3-3 stack. And so I think, between both have good offensive lines, D lines. Last year score 8-0. I see another low scoring game.
Another shootout.
Yeah, there'll be. I think Dwenger's giving an average of 8 points a game. Luers is like 12, and Dwenger's only averaging 20, and Luers 17. So if you're looking for a game that's going to be throwing the ball around and scoring a bunch of points, it's probably not the right game. But if you're looking for a hard-hitting defensive battle, I think
That's
this is
your
going to
game.
be a good one.
Yeah, I think you're right. If you like defense and you like ball possession, just a slog and a street fight, you need to go to Lures Field tomorrow night. Brent X, what are your thoughts about this one?
So Coach Stansky's talking about the 3-3 stack. In my opinion, as somebody that coached the offense line, how do you take that 3-3 stack and spread it out and simplify it? And how you do that is get 2 tight ends in the game and a fullback. And you go back to 1980s football and run flanker formation. So you have 2 tight ends, fullback, tailback, 1 receiver, a flanker spread out. Make them come down and almost turn that into a 5-2 or 6-2.
Yep.
And spread them out horizontally.
Is that
sideline
help
to
with your
sideline?
blocking assignments? So your guys
100%.
know who to block?
It forces them to show where they're going.
Okay.
You're still going to have 2 linebackers, but I would really like to see Lures getting a flanker set, and you have these big, massive bodies.
Massive.
Play on words for you. And a Jaron Taylor, who is an unbelievable defensive lineman. Get that kid at tight end, spread them out, take Ale Taylor, make him your fullback. You got Epperson and Gaither, who are speed and quick, and lead and attack a defense. Just attack it. No more polling, just power football. Come out to Dwayne.
Play to your strengths.
Dwanger defense is not Concordia's defense. These are all returning starters. You got Shefferly, you got Ellinger, you got who's that defense lineman Dwanger has? That's
Trying.
yes.
Yeah, and on and on and on. And
And
they're good. And their defensive backs are really good too.
They're going to know Lures is going to run the ball. So let's just say, yes, we are. But we're going to get in a power set and we're going to bring it to you.
And we're going to force you to show us how you're going to defend it and line up and
No
give our
games.
guys a hat on a hat.
Don't allow the games to be played. Spread out that defense, sideline to sideline,
I like it.
and attack them. Now, Dwanger, even doing that, is this offense line going to match up with this Dwanger front 7? That's the question. The last 3 weeks, it looks to me like Lures' offense line has improved, but this is a real test. It's now, do or die right here in this game tomorrow night for the Battle of the Bishops.
Well, they've won 3 in a row, have the Knights, so they're doing some things
They're getting better.
but they
this is a
haven't really
test.
had the big test these last few weeks like they will tomorrow night against Bishop Dwenger. Coach, why don't you put a bow on this one?
This is always a real emotional game, and sometimes those emotions can play for you and sometimes against. I think early on, emotions don't get too high, and you don't make an early mistake, and let your team settle into the game, let the quarterback settle in, and try to, like Coach said, I think you move the ball on the ground, but because it's going to be tough. They've got, Dwanger's got 2 good cornerbacks, Hackman and O'Keefe. They kind of did the pretty good job last week against Northrop.
Did. Yeah.
And so it's going to be tough throwing the ball. So I think you can't make mistakes, play good special teams, and give yourself a chance.
That's the key, what he said right there, special teams. I think Dwanger, with
They have
their
the edge there.
experience, they have the edge against Lures, youth at special teams. That's going to be a key tomorrow night.
Okay. I think the Hackman kid, I believe, is Johnny Goodman's nephew.
Oh.
I think there's a family tie there. Former Bishop Dwenger great. So that'll be a fun one tomorrow night. We'll talk a little bit more about this matchup later in the show with our buy sell segment tonight. So stay tuned for that, folks. All right, give us another 5 minutes, Jackson, and if you would pan down to the next game. Jake and Jeff are going to tackle this one, the annual totem pole battle. What a fun matchup this always is. The legends, they feel to me like they're just waiting to erupt. Like people aren't really giving them their just due. And then Southside at 1-5, they feel a lot better than 1-5. This could be a great matchup. A lot of history here. I think Northside owns a 59, 39-2 series,
Right.
all-time series
Yep.
record. So a ton of history. Jake, why don't you start?
Yeah, historical matchup, like you said, Casey. Could be the oldest rivalry game in the area, if not the north half of the state, for that matter. My thing with this game is a lot of people may talk about the trench play, a lot of play with the linebackers. I want to primarily focus on skill positions because obviously every year North has a lot of weapons. They got the transfer kid from Dub C and Jaden Rivers slinging the rock, which is cool. Obviously Malik Moore is a stud. But when you look at the South, they have a lot of playmakers too, and they may be a little bit in some places undersized and obviously undervalued. But when you've got Irby, Josiah Malone, TJ Snow, the Chris Moon kid, who obviously just had one of the gnarliest games of his life here recently, it's going to be an electric game. So I think people are going to sleep on the fact that South can strike quickly too. Both teams are going to be well coached. I think Andre Goodwell is one of the best up and coming coaches in the area, in my opinion. And obviously he's starting to turn things around for South. I think they're so close to winning that week 1 game every year. And as the season goes on, I could probably see them picking up a second win this year. I think it's going to be to the skill positions. Malik's going to have a great game. We were talking upstairs and some good points were made. I'd like to see Rivers throw the ball downfield a little bit more when you have those weapons, but I wouldn't sleep on South, man. Defensively, Derek Smith, stud there. I think they match up a little bit better than anticipated. And I think this game might be a little bit closer than people might think.
Coach.
Yeah, I think I coached on both sides of this, and a little biased towards the Bishop's Cup there, but I think this rivalry, the totem pole, is right there. I mean, it's an intense rivalry. I think both teams are going to come out ready to play. Again, like was said, Jaden Rivers, he's been unbelievable. Number 1 passer in the area.
First 2 interceptions of the year last week in that game against Wayne, which is remarkable that he went that long without throwing a pick. Sorry, Coach.
And I saw him against Lures, and he put some balls in some tight windows to Malik Moore that he was covered, but just put them right where they needed to be. And I really like the offensive scheme they've got going on with Coach Johnson there. I like what he's done to spread things out, get rid of the ball quick, and has done a nice job with Rivers in the passing game. And then South, again, Moons, he's averaging 9.4 yards per carry.
It's not too bad.
That's pretty impressive. And then I saw Javon Irby. He had a great game against Lures. I think 152 yards. He made maybe the best catch I've ever seen in high school. Odell Beckham style.
Yeah.
One-handed catch, touchdown.
He's a running back, but I mean, really, he's kind of emerged more as a ball catcher here in recent weeks.
Yes.
I mean, so between he and Moon, they really have some dynamic players there. And then they've got the 2 quarterbacks that are kind of sharing reps as well.
Yeah, Patterson and Murphy. Yeah, they both kind of, they haven't quite decided on who they want to go to. And one game, it seems like one guy's playing a little better, one the other, and who has the hot hand, maybe they decide to go with. But yeah, I agree. Coach Goodwell also has done a tremendous job to get that program from where it was to now able to compete. They got energy, they got discipline, they got good attitudes. It was not the same team that you saw, 4 or 5 years ago that I've seen.
Even 3 years ago.
Yes,
for sure. No, Coach Goody's done a great job. I think those kids love to play for him and play hard for him. They're still a little thin, I think, in the trenches.
Yep.
And if Northside has an edge, it may be there. And I think across the board, they have more elite talent to the Legends, but this is a rivalry game. And, it's cliche, but you can throw the records out for sure. I think I would not be surprised at all if this is a close game. And I think, it's playing at home. Southside will be, a decided underdog, I think, by most people's opinions. But I just like the way this team's playing. They feel like they're on the threshold of a big win, and maybe this is it. So going to be a fun one. If you can't get out to Lures Field, you can always head up Calhoun and go to see Northside at Southside. 2 great games on the south side of town tomorrow night for sure. Real quick shout out on the pages and game night. Go up if you would, Jackson. Jaden Rivers, that's a visual accuracy there. He's a big dude. If you've ever seen him up close, he's a really big kid. And he's every bit of 6'4", 6'4.5", I bet, and pretty well put together. And then Jarmeek Harrison, what a season he's having. They've just got a lot of guys. Sebastian Moore is another one that just, everybody focuses on Malik Moore, and he's really, really good. And, of course, Caleb Kingley, who came back last week. He's supposed to be close to 100%. That could be an X factor for sure for the Legends. Okay. Next game here. Thank you, Jackson. Give us 5 minutes again. And this one is going to be Jake the Snake and Brent X. Brent, we'll start with you first. East Noble at Columbia City. Why don't you tackle this maybe from an East Noble standpoint, and then we'll let Jake talk about the Whitley.
The 6-0 East Noble. 6-0.
Are they 6-0? And ranked
Are
atop the Swamis top
Are they number
25?
1 or I haven't looked.
I believe so.
Well, congratulations. I'm very proud of you. Thank you for your service.
Yes.
Alex Stewart Coach Stewart's doing a great job at East Noble. 2nd year in the program. But when you have the discipline that he's instilled and the players that he has, it's very difficult to say this team's not going to win this game or any game for that matter. I'd put them up against anybody like you have them.
Alex Scott.
Yeah,
He's
does
just a junior.
exactly. So the offers I do think will come.
To Huntershire.
Look at him.
Yeah, look in the senior spotlight this week.
And the way Austin Phillips has stepped up and just burst on the scene as a freshman, along with his brother Alex. Have you seen a freshman built like he is?
It's been a long time. We talked a couple weeks ago, maybe Jalen Smith. I don't know. I mean, that's a pretty lofty comparison, but my goodness, he's a specimen.
When you see a 15-year-old kid like that, and you see him run through people, and when he doesn't want to run through somebody, he can make a miss. I just think it's going to be a tough challenge for these players and how well coached they are for Columbia City. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I love my Eagles, obviously, but this is going to be a tall order for them. I think this is, unfortunately for us, one of the best East Noble teams we probably faced in a handful of years, and we played some good ones. It is, man. Alex Scott, I think, in my opinion, I want to say he's my favorite player on that side of the ball, but for East Noble. But I don't know, man. We played against the Phillips kid. It just giving me nightmares right now. His dad, Jared, is a fantastic guy, and shout out to Jared for living his best life right now with having two sons playing on the same football team. Very cool. And so they both play defensively and then a little offensively as well. But obviously, the younger brother is the one that right now is garnering all the attention. But they both work extremely hard. They're both built like machines. There's just it's tough because this East Noble team across the board. I think Riley Biddle, it would be arguable. You start looking at stats and stuff. I think as far as a winning attitude and a guy that you want in the clutch moments, I would take him over any NE8 quarterback right now, even the DeKalb kid. He just knows how to win. He can move with his legs. And we even see it scaled down in the middle school, man. Like they run GH and GT counter. So they're pulling a guard and pulling the H back, or they're pulling a guard and a tackle.
Out of the spread?
Out of the spread.
That's
and
what's so dangerous when you have Alex Scott out there. You have to take two guys away, you spread them out, and then you run the counter.
And looking at guys like Shire and Smithson, who
The Hunters.
their feet are so good for their size. Now you're trying to scrape down and get through that brick wall. I mean, now Columbia City's got some dudes, so I'm not going to sit here and take it all away from them. If there's any upset that could happen, CC can do it. Gabe McDivitt, who we've coached, great kid. He's athletic. I think he's a little bit more athletic than people would give him credit for. He hasn't been able to utilize that as much in the run game and the option game as much. I like to see them starting to utilize him throwing the ball down the field a little bit more.
Great pick of Gabe in game night tonight. You see it?
Is it? I thought that was Trace Parrish. Or you got Gabe? Oh, you got him down there throwing nice.
Action shot. Yeah.
The thing with Gabe that's nice is he just needs a little bit of time to gel into this offense. We do teach it from middle school and the youth and stuff, so it's not like he hasn't seen it, but he's the type of kid to run the option. They need to build off that option, and they started taking some shots down the field. He had a really nice, 63 or 73-yard touchdown pass last week against New Haven. That's going to be the type of stuff they're going to have to do, but unfortunately for them, this is the best back end in the NE8. Yeah. I mean, they're going to have to do different things than just throwing like a deep post. They're going to need to get some digs, maybe some hitches, just mix some things up a little bit. And it's just going to be really tough to battle those things in the trenches. The one thing that is nice for Columbia City side, Gavin Smith, who's leading the area in interceptions, is back there, and he's a rover. He's going to make things happen. They've got him involved a little bit offensively too. But it's just East Noble is the type of team defensively that are going to be able to come down and jam the flats and take the short pass game away. They're really going to set the edge, and it's going to make it tough. Columbia City is going to have to pack a lunch pail and run this offense, this, Army-Navy type of flex bone offense, and try to cram it down their throat and stay away from those big tackles on the defensive side and hope for the best. But it's a tall order.
I would like to see Columbia City early take some deep shots like you're talking about they did last week, even if they're incomplete. Just give yourself some breathing room, because what East Noble can do is say, we don't think you're going to pass until you actually do. Incomplete go routes, off play action can kind of spread out that defense a little bit.
Totally agree. And to that, when you're the underdog, you can't win conference now. throw the kitchen sink at them. What do you have to
Get
lose?
ready for
Upset them
playoffs.
for sure.
Get ready for playoffs.
Yeah, and one of the guys that you could stretch the field with is Gavin Smith, who's featured also on the Columbia City page this week in game night. He leads the area with 6 interceptions. At least that's what I've been told. That's pretty darn impressive. I don't know how they do it. They always have somebody, it seems like, on that side of the ball racking up picks for the Whitley County.
I still don't think that wishbone has been cracked. I don't think we talked about it last week. I think just adding to it each week.
Were you here last week?
Well, Joe and I talked about that.
Okay, that's right.
Maybe it was.
Oh, that's right. You were writing headlines.
Maybe. Maybe it was in a dream I had. Me and Joe going at it. My wife's like, "Who's Joe? Who are you talking about in your sleep?" I go, "Oh, just this cowboy I ran across."
This is crazy cowboy. God love him. Joe, we know you're watching. You'll be back in the cave soon. All right, let's get out of this. Brent, give me a quick score update. What's the Cubs score?
It was 3-0, but I think the Padres may have just scored.
Still 3-0.
Okay.
Going into the top of the 9th inning.
Yeah.
3-0 going in the top of the 9th, according to Jackson Geiger. Thank you, Jackson. All right, let's get out of that. Give us 5 minutes, Jackson. Last featured matchup, 5 minutes here. Jeff and Jake, you're going to tackle this. Who wants to go first? You do?
Go ahead.
Okay. We got Bluffton at Heritage. It's going to be, to me, it feels like the quintessential trap game because Bluffton next week has Adams Central. They're both undefeated, are the Tigers and the Flying Jets. It feels like a look-ahead game. Remember, a year ago, Bluffton was 6-0 going into this matchup, and they lost 51-20 last year to Heritage. A lot of people forget that. Snake.
So I'm going to keep this short because I'm going to be real honest. I've been watching so much NE8 and SEC football that I don't know a whole lot about either team this year. I was a lot more in tune with Bluffton last season, but 6-0 Tigers, 4-2 Patriots, who lost a tight one, 14-7 with AC. The one player that I do like a lot is Axton Best. So I think that's going to be a key in this matchup. And other than that, Jeff, I'm kicking it to you, buddy.
Yeah, I think this definitely could be a trap game. I think Coach Kunkel's going to have to do a good job of keeping them focused. But I think, Bluffton's got to look at them and say, hey, they're 4-2. They lost to Adams Central 14-7.
Oh, he played them tough.
That is, to be able to do that, it's a good team, man. They got the third, leading running back in the area with
Lucas Weber. Mm-hmm.
He's got 720 yards, averages 120 a game. And I think they're going to have their hands full Bluffton for this one. I hope they're not overlooking them. I don't think they will, but I do agree. I think Best, he's 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I think last year they ended up throwing 3 picks.
Yeah, he had 3 last year in this game.
Yeah, and he's only a sophomore, so I think that's going to be a big difference.
He's going to be a year older and very mature, having a really good season. They've got a lot of, there's no way those coaches are letting them overlook Heritage after what Heritage did last year. I think Heritage rushed for almost 400 yards last year with Lucas Weber doing a lot of the damage. And who was the other fellow that was there last year? Do you recall? Braden Walter was the other one. Yeah. He graduated. So they both had like 120, 140 yards respectively by themselves. And they just ran all over Bluffton a year ago. And then that essentially sent them on a 4-game slide.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about the emotions of a tough loss where, I think everybody last year was picking Bluffton to win that game and they lost by 31 points or whatever.
I think Bluffton's out to prove something.
No doubt. They have to, and it feels like a trap game, but home run by San Diego.
I know.
What's the score, Brent?
3-1.
Oh, it's just 3-1. It's just a solo shot. That's a former. Is that a former? No, that's not him. I thought it was our guy from the Tin Caps. No, the other guy. I don't know. I like San Diego. My brother lives at Machado, is who I was thinking it was. My brother lives out in San Diego, and he likes the Fathers. The Padres.
But I think Bluffton is on a rampage here in 2A. They are on a mission in 2A, and AC is going to be there. That's going to be fun.
This can be fun, and then you've got Eastside too.
Yeah,
lurking in the weeds. That's going to be a great sectional.
Yeah.
I like Kamel Moore a lot. He had a really nice game last week. He's been kind of quiet. He's a senior running back. I think he had over 100 yards rushing last week. You got Cooper Craig. You've got AJ Strevler.
Yeah,
the senior receiver
who
was
about 80
last
yards
week
a game. Yeah.
Set the all-time school record for receptions and receiving yards in the same game.
Oh, wow.
So pretty cool for a kid to get not 1 but 2 records in one night. So, yeah, Bluffton feels like a really good team. But if you look at their schedule, who they really played. I mean, no offense, South Adams is very good, but
AC took them to the.
they beat South Adams 44-41. South
I
Adams
know.
threw all over them. I think over 400 yards passing. So
But Bluffton
Um,
also passed. That's how they accumulate a lot of offense.
no, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a shootout. It was a great game,
Yeah.
but they have some deficiencies. But I mean, they've beaten Woodland, Jay County, Southern Wells. This will be a good test for them, and probably what they need, truthfully, going into Adams Central in week 8.
Yep.
Okay, let's get out of that. Thank you, Jackson, and let's take another quick peek at the center spread at some of these pictures, guys. If you want to comment, what?
That picture of Portee and the
Yeah, you
top
love
left
it.
is awesome.
Well, you're a big Portee guy, and I gotta give you props because you singled him out.
I just like the way he runs so
he
hard.
runs angry.
Yeah.
He really does.
I saw that on film a few weeks ago. I'm like, who is this kid?
A little bit like Pacheco. Want to see him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
Freddie
runs
Pacheco,
angry.
yeah,
you
from
know?
Rutgers.
Yeah.
That's a good comparison.
Chiefs. Pacheco. Is that your
The chefs.
Yeah.
The Chiefs.
I love the chefs.
Pacheco.
So top left, guys. If you're on SummitCitySports.com, go to the center spread and zoom in on some of these pictures. That's from John Martin, who takes a lot of the Dwinger pictures, but he's submitted that. That was what an effort by Levi Portee, and then he got him stretching out with the dreads hanging out of the back of the helmet. That's a fun picture. I like the picture below of Malik Moore and the north side dads that are just hanging out on the sideline. They're probably half in the bag. And they're just, I mean, I don't know if they are not, but look at them. Look at those two dudes. I mean, those are north side fans.
They're excited for Northside football.
No, they are. And I love that they're having a little correspondence with the player. And Malik's like saying, no, I got the ball or first down, whatever. The picture below it, Doug Blackwell took of Carroll against Concordia a few weeks ago. I love Doug does a really good job kind of zeroing in. Sometimes he gets those really tight facial expressions. I think that's fun. And then the two pictures, great action shots to the right of there from Homestead Snyder and then New Haven and Leo. Adam Snyder, again, takes a lot of Woodland pictures. Got a nice shot there of the Bluffton QB, who you just mentioned, Coach. Top right, Cole Whelan, he takes a lot of Leo pics. That was week 1 against Bishop Lures and Leo. That was, I thought, a really great action shot. And I like some of the people in the background as well. Nice picture of East Noble, Riley Biddle, and Taden Getz doing a chest bump. That was early in the season. That was week 1 against Wayne. And then I like the picture there, of course, of Brady Culler from DeKalb getting ready to stiff arm the Columbia City defensive back. And then these bottom two, I love them. The bottom two right ones. This was offsetting penalties. The Huntington Northrop one, you got hands to the face and holding on the same picture. That's a great shot. And then Leslie Palmer submitted that picture from Adams Central against Garrett, another great stiff arm shot. So again, thank you to all the photographers. Thank you to our sponsors there too for supporting that page. All right, let's get out of that action. Let's talk briefly on some of these SAC matchups. We got 3 that did not make the top section of the magazine. So we're going to just do 2 minutes on these, Jackson, 2-minute drill, if you will. And I'll just tee you guys up one at a time, but let's start with Jeff. Concordia at Wayne. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I really like the way Jace White's playing, but he needs some time to be able to throw the ball, and hopefully maybe for Wayne they can give him some time this week to throw the ball around a little bit. Concordia, I really like their quarterback, Eli Trent. I think he kind of really makes that offense go. I think he's like their obviously passer, but he's also I think their leading rusher.
Yep.
And he kind of makes that thing go, and a couple of defensive guys, Luke Hayworth and Grant Allman, kind of a couple guys that stand out for their defense for Concordia's D. And I think it's going to be that's a really good matchup, I think, for both teams, and both looking to get their first win, I believe.
Yeah, that's correct. And it kind of feels that way. Like if you're going to get a win, this is it, guys. And it's kind of their Super Bowl. You hate to put all your eggs in one basket, but it sure feels that way. And so one of them's going to leave tomorrow night feeling really good about things like, okay, exhale. We got something to build on. And then the other one's going to be like, we got to go back to the drawing board. And that's got to be a difficult situation for whoever doesn't win this game.
Yeah, it's hard to keep your team together kind of after not winning any games.
Yep, Brent.
If you look at Concordia, junior quarterback,
Super young.
sophomores everywhere, sophomores on the offensive line, sophomore. I don't even know how many seniors they have starting, like 3.
Just a few. Yeah, I feel like maybe
I mean,
one
that
or
is
two
the
linemen.
youngest team in the city in the SAC.
So you take your lumps now.
And then you have the Wayne new coaching staff taking over.
And
I
they're
like the-
playing some young guys too.
Yeah, and I like the energy that Coach White has brought there. It's going to be a good game and a fun game to watch.
Well, and they got those 2 interceptions last week against Jaden Rivers from Northside. Defensively, maybe something to build on. Remember, they also scored some touchdowns late against Snyder
Yeah.
a few weeks ago. So I mean, it should be favored, but sometimes the Swami thinks differently. So we'll get to that at the end of the show. All right, give us another 2 minutes, Jackson. This next one, we've got Northrop at Snyder. At, dare I say, Snyder Spuller Stadium for the last time, right, in this matchup, because next year they'll be playing on their own home soil, I believe,
Yeah.
correct?
Right. Yep.
So just, kind of a fun matchup. I mean, how many times has Northrop been favored through the years? Not many, but they have to be a prohibitive favorite in this game. Snyder has never been 2-5, and it looks like, barring an upset tomorrow night, that's what they'll be staring at. Who's tackling this one? You are, Jake. Do you have some thoughts on that?
So first and foremost, just like the picture you talked about, Levi Porti, probably the sickest run I've ever seen in high school football, especially from a pictorial and videography standpoint. That was nasty to watch, especially in the Summit City broadcast, the way he started to veer right, cuts back, and just jumps over with the elbow out and houses it. That was fantastic. And this is probably one of the first times that I've ever said this out loud, because I'm always one of the people that early in the season I'm trying to throw dirt on Snyder's grave and then they smack me in the mouth. But this is one time where Northrop has way too much skill position for Snyder to compete with, like way too much. When you look at Quay Guilford, wide receiver, heading to Ohio State, Maddox Wheel, you got the Purdue offer. Callison can sling it to both of them. And when you've got running game like they have, you've also got D. Hogue, who's a total stud. The only thing that I can say from the other aspect is when you have a team, and no discredit to Northrop because I love what Coach Q and the guys have done over there, but you have to learn how to win. And so it's cool that they are this season. They've won some games, but when you're playing a team with such tradition that is going to lay the lumber,
That's owned you.
that has owned you for so long, it's a mental thing. And so it's been really cool to see the Bruins be able to get a lot of wins this year. But if anybody could be their kryptonite, could it be the last matchup at Spuller? That's all I could say.
That's a very good point. Very good point. That's what I was going to talk about. Huge win against Dwenger. How do you respond next week knowing that Coach Tippmann is jacking his guys up because what happened last Friday at Homestead?
Yep. Yeah,
38-0.
38-0.
And I know-
ever
I know Snyder has been struggling this year, but I think Coach Tippmann, if he has his will here, he's going to have his boys ready to go.
Well, and
you
every
cannot have a
year,
letdown from Northrop. I don't know if that's possible going into Snyder,
it's possible,
but you can't.
because they're kids, and that was a big emotional win, down 2 scores against Bishop Dwenger, and coming back did the Bruins and posting that 21-18 win. By the way, they got a stack of pizzas last night from the Swami and B. Antonio's,
Nice.
and I think they enjoy it. You all the years that I've talked to Kurt Tippmann about this game, this is rivalry week, right? And I every year they talk about, and I don't think it's lip service, but I always kind of roll my eyes like, sure, because Snyder was always a decided favorite, and they always took care of business. And you were over there for a while.
Yeah,
Coach.
I mean,
Speak to that.
I gotta be honest. At first, I was like, "How can this be a rivalry? We've beaten them 25 times in a row by an average of like 30 points." And
Right.
but no, I mean, it is a intense rivalry, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Snyder's gonna go in there ready to play, and
Well, this year of all the years,
this is their
they
chance.
Snyder can really sell that
yes,
more
yeah,
than a lot of
any
times.
other.
And some of those kids are
Mhm.
probably like, "Come on, coach," but Northrop's a different Northrop. This is not your dad's Northrop,
Correct.
and they are playing at a high level.
And it's not really your Snyder either.
No,
So I mean, that's the thing.
They've traded places.
Yeah.
The thing that has impressed me the most about Northrop, I know Jake said all the skill they do. They have skill everywhere, but it's their offensive line and how they got after Dwenger. And Dwenger had to have a weak box so they could cover Guilford and some of the other speed. So
It opened up that
it
running
was a
game.
huge advantage for Northrop. That's what's impressing me is the offensive line play. And honestly, the discipline. Not a lot of penalties,
Playing
pre-snap
much
penalties.
cleaner game.
Yeah. But if Snyder can win, they have to get pressure on Callison. They have to.
Yeah.
They have to win the line of scrimmage on the defense side of the ball. And I think Snyder can.
And get a turnover or two or something, get a little momentum early and plant a little doubt
Yep.
in Northrop's head. Like,
Yep.
hey, little brother,
Yep.
we're still big
here.
brother. Yeah. Davion Surrey, a nice picture there. 2 interceptions this year for the Bruins, along with D Hogue as well. The addition of those two really has taken that defense to a new level. All right. 2 minutes, Jackson, on Homestead at Carroll. Brent, why don't you tackle this one? What are you cheering about?
Cubs won.
Cubs
Cubs
win.
win.
Cubs win.
All
Cubs
right.
win. Harry Carey. Ho ho. Cubs win. Brent.
Well, Homestead, this is a huge matchup. I'm actually surprised it's not on one of your games of the week because of
Don't be
what-
surprised, Brent.
you always surprise me. This is just a surprise. I really like what Frissinger, is that how you pronounce his name? Freisinger has done at Homestead coming in for White. He's really took control of the offense and his ability to make plays on the run.
For Carroll.
Yeah, I'm sorry for
Right.
Carroll.
Yep.
For what he's been able to do is come in for Jimmy,
Yeah.
and make plays.
He throws a good ball.
Van Pelt, I would put him up there with Guilford as the top 2 receivers. And I just haven't heard many people talking about Van Pelt except the Swami.
Well, he's leading the area in receiving, and he's done
But
it
he's
kind of
quiet.
quietly.
Yeah, it's been so quiet.
Very steady. Remember, he missed the first week.
Exactly.
He
And-
runs great routes, doesn't he?
The best.
But I just think this matchup, Homestead is different this year. You can just, when you watch them, you can just tell they're just different. I think their offense is more balanced, maybe than it has been in the past. But the way they dominated Snyder last week,
they smoked him.
470 some yards to 160 some yards in total offense. That
Yeah,
means
Coach Zolman didn't take the foot off the pedal. I mean, they
let's
shouldn't.
Let's be real. Yeah, he should not.
Yeah.
They've been 6-6 the last 3 years. He needs to send a message to his players, not anybody else, his players, that when we beat somebody, we are going to finish the job.
Yes.
And I like that.
Think about just a couple weeks ago. They had what, 15 yards, not or
Against
14
Dwenger.
yards, not points, not
Against
14
Dwenger.
points, 14 yards
Yeah.
against Bishop Dwenger, and then to put up the numbers they did a week ago shows me that Coach Skelton and those coaches got their attention, and they've got a system right now with Bardwell running the ball, Logan Frieden, the junior QB that's filled in nicely for
Well, I
Mike
think
White.
that played a. I'm not saying this is nothing against Dwenger. I think their defense is obviously top in the SAC, but that was them trying to get that quarterback ready to go after White got hurt.
No doubt.
But now they look good.
They look like a different team right now.
This is
and
going to be a good game.
It really is. It's out at Carroll, and both teams look like they want to run the ball a little bit more. Like they're making that concerted effort. We've talked a lot about that. They feel a little finesse sometimes. Now they're trying to find some power routes. Again, the Bardwell kid had a nice game last week with 124 yards, I believe, 134 yards. And then Asher Wagner had 3 TD runs for Carroll. Granted, all short runs, but that's the name of the game. If these teams can run the ball,
As it gets colder, yeah.
they could make a little noise in the postseason with Northrop being the nemesis. It's fun to say that, isn't it? All right, get out of that. Give us 2 minutes here. Leo at Huntington North. Let's get into the Northeast State Roundup. And Jeff, why don't you tackle this one, and we can also throw in our 2 cents too. But I know you saw Leo week 1 against Bishop Luers. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think Leo's a handful. You know, they've got a great run game. I think Coach Dorfler's got, he really knows how to run an offense, knows how to get the most out of his players. And when they played Luers, that's a great run defense. They rushed for over 120, 130 yards against a good Luers defense, and so I think they look really good. So I think they can handle Huntington North fairly easy, but Huntington North played some tough games as well.
Well, and they played Northrop tough for a while,
Yes.
and they seem really dangerous to me. They had actually really good offensive numbers in that loss to DeKalb. Go ahead, Brent.
Where did Aaron Perlich come from? I didn't see much of him early in the year, but he's emerging as a 1-2 punch with Nate Foster.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, and Titus Stoller, the quarterback, I mean, he gives them a little different dimension running the ball, and he's getting a little more comfortable throwing it. This team feels a little dangerous to me.
Yeah, they're getting the ball out of his hand quickly. They're not letting it develop long developing plays unless it's a play action, but they're getting the ball out quick on some slants and some quick outs, and they're moving the ball and they're scoring a lot of points.
Well, they scored 40 against East Noble a couple weeks ago, and I think Foster had 256 rushing yards in that game. Again, if you would have said they're going to score 40 points and their running back's getting 256, I would have said they're going to win that game. So clearly defensively, they've got some things to work on, but I feel like they've got some nice components there, and this could be a really dangerous team in that sectional in 4A.
You're not going to find many teams that are going to score 40 points against East Noble.
Right.
You're just not.
No. So they're obviously doing some things well on that side of the ball.
Can you think about that sectional?
It's going to be fun.
Buzzsaw.
Oh, it's going to be
It
fun.
is going to be a fun
A lot of it
section.
will depend on matchups right out of the gate and how things are paired up.
I don't even think that really matters much. I think
Well, it
there's
depends.
6
If you put
teams
your
in-
yeah, I was going to say maybe I think 4, but yeah, DeKalb, East Noble, Dwinger, Leo.
yeah,
Those 4. If those 4
Columbia
are all
City.
on one side,
Yeah, thank you.
Columbia
I'm not
City.
ready to put Columbia City in that grouping yet.
Well, we'll see what happens on Friday.
Well, yeah, no, if they rise up and give East Noble a battle tomorrow, then you know what? I'll change my mind.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
I know you say. All right. New Haven at Belmont. Jackson, give us 2 minutes. Who's tackling this one? I can't even read my notes. Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
You've been awful quiet right next to me on my shoulder. Why don't you take it over?
Yeah, this is just going to be a game of who wants it more. Both teams coming off very, very lopsided losses last week, and man, it's been tough to kind of understand as the season's gone on some of the discipline, penalty issues, and things of that nature. Just the little fundamental things from both these teams that need to be cleaned up. Every year we talk about how we really want to see Belmont, finally get that elusive win, kind of turn the corner. I think that they have a shot to get in this game, and I really think that they need to simplify what they're doing and really stick to the principles. Anytime you're playing a team and you're slated to lose, the best things you can play is good defense and run the ball and grind clock. And I know that both these teams like to spread, like to throw a little bit here when they can, but man, I would just be trying to get 30 seconds off the play clock every single snap. Get this thing into the fourth quarter when both sides are tired and see where it goes from there. There was a lot of things that Columbia City was able to do last week against the Bulldogs, and then I think they're going to improve on this week. But overall, man, I think this game could go either way. Belmont has everything that they should be playing for to try to get a win late in the season. And with all the scuttlebutt around the program this year with, man, are they going to be able to finish the varsity season and things of that nature? They've got to start setting some type of a precedence that they can build off of. And these games are starting to score points now. They got to get a finish because you can't build off of anything with another losing season where you haven't won a game. I mean, look at teams that have been able to do it, like Southern Wells with 2 wins this year, Whitco with a win this year, probably get another one before it's over. You just need a win. So I'm begging any of the players on Belmont's side that's listening, dig deep down into your guts, man, and leave it on the field and try to get that elusive win this weekend because it is going to be everything to your program, and you've got a hell of a coach and Coach Hall that's trying to build this thing up, and he needs all hands on deck. So I hope they've got it for him.
In the immortal words of Johnny Automatic, reach way down and grab a hold of yourself, baby John. That's for my my studio photographer, John Otto, a tribute to his father. God rest his soul. All right, Brent X, you're on deck here for Norwell at DeKalb. Give us 2 minutes, Jackson. Player of the week, rather, Eli McCormick. This week in game night, 17 of 31, 256, 5 TDs. Not bad for a kid that no one expected anything from. What are your thoughts here?
Xavier Bell, he has to throw 2, and
Noah
Noah
Spears.
Spears.
We're on.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Sorry, we had, I think Annie, my deaf puppy, was upstairs chewing on the cords or something because we lost internet connection. The Yankees are on right now, so I'll probably be distracted. But until then, did we get through this? No, we're doing the area games real quick. Adams Central at Southern Wells. Give me 1 minute on this, Jackson. Who's talking about this?
I think I got it.
All right, take it away,
Looks
brother.
like could AC be looking ahead? Maybe, but
Trap games are trap games,
They got
right?
Bluffton next week.
they got Bluffton next week. But I think as dominant as they are and have been, you keep just thinking like, well, maybe they're down or not as dominant as
Maybe somebody will
before.
catch them.
Yeah, and they
their
just
machine.
say 20 in a row now. I think they've won, right?
Yeah.
And Roach at quarterback, Laughlin and Miller running back and running the ball. I mean, they always have multiple guys. And Southern Wells has improved, but they still give up, I think, 25 points a game. And if you're going to do that against, going into AC, I
Mediocre
think that's
competition.
gonna be
Yeah,
tough for them to stop AC.
I agree. This is the matchup a few years ago. I think 2022. You might have been with Joe Walburn out covering a game, and the Swami had predicted 63-0. And I remember Joe sitting right there, just laughed. He's like, "There's no way." He just thought it was the craziest, most obnoxious spread he's ever seen. And then when the scores came through that night, it was 63-0, and he couldn't believe it. But Coach Blake Blaker's done a good job, and Southern Wells has turned things around. So good for them. But again, I think AC takes care of business. All right, this next one, Prairie Heights at Woodland. Again, give us a minute on this one. Who's got this one? Anybody? Jake, why don't you tackle that just real quick?
Yeah, we'll just give it a quick hitter. So they have a common opponent in this game, Prairie Heights and Woodland. They both played Central Noble, and Woodland won their matchup and Prairie Heights lost. So obviously you're going to give the edge to the Warriors. But the one thing I want to note for Prairie Heights, when you've got a guy like Coach McCray, friend of the program, last season, 5-6. The prior season, I think they had a similar record. They've had some nice little runs. And when you're talking about some of these 1A and 2A schools, you're not trying to give a coach a get out of jail free card, but you have to play with the players as they come in waves. And when you're playing younger guys, you've got to let them build and develop and then catch those, stretch runs for a season or two. And then you got to go back to the drawing board and build again. And he's got a great weight program. I love seeing him posting on X about what they're doing in the off season. Should be a good game, but Woodland definitely has the edge.
Okay. And Woodland, and Coach Rohrabacher does not want to talk about this. I pressed him a little bit this week. They've really been hit by the injury bug, and they were super young to begin with, playing a lot of two-way guys. And so they've got 3 or 4 kids that are out of the lineup right now, and it's really decimated their season. That loss last week, 21-7 to Jay County.
Yeah, when you lose one key guy, it's a big deal. When you lose 3 at that level of football, it's tough.
Yeah, especially for a smaller school and then a younger team as well.
Yeah.
It's been a tall task, but I think this is an opportunity for Woodland to get a non-conference win. I think this is a good matchup, and I do think the Warriors should be favored. All right, last game. Yeah.
One quick shout out off topic. Speaking of Woodland, big shout out to the Woodland men's soccer team for their first ever ACAC title.
Football.
First ever. Fantastic job, boys.
This is a football show, but that was a football reference. Thank you, Snake. That was well done. You couldn't wait to get a little soccer in here, could you? You can't help yourself. All right, last but not least, the area roundup. Lakeland at West Noble. This is another one of those games that conceivably could have been a featured game in game night this year. It's lost a little bit of its luster from, I think, Ryan O'Shea being gone. He kind of had that juice. Now Tom Wagaman is the coach there.
He's doing well, though, replacing him.
Tom's doing a nice job, and he's kind of putting his stamp on this team. And it's taken a little while, but they're running the ball a little bit better, but they still want to throw it. That's who they are. Braden Holbrook, the senior quarterback. Kean Arroyo, really nice picture there in game night tonight. He's got he's number 2 in the area as far as receiving yards, so he's a real playmaker. So they've got some weapons, do the Lakers. And then Monty Maywater's West Noble Chargers, they just love to pound the ball. No Seth Pruitt, but they just keep replacing guys, and they're more
new
by
brothers they have up there.
They're more by committee this year in terms of running the ball. I knew you were going to ask me that. I
I
don't
can't
know if I
remember,
got him or not.
but
Trace Schisler's the quarterback.
Yes.
He's got 888 passing yards. But yeah,
Xavier and
Yates.
Yates,
The Yates brothers,
yeah.
yes.
They
Yeah,
always find some brothers and they just go.
They do. And they're a fun team. They're a dangerous team. And when we get to the Blowing Smoke page, they've moved up in the rankings too.
Now, let me ask you this question.
Please.
This is, you have no idea what I'm going to ask you, but what happens if Lakeland would win this game? What would it do to the NECC the big division?
It would shake it up. I don't think they have
Is there a shot that
a
Lakeland can-
tiebreaker because I don't think they finish in big school. I think they play small schools the last 2 weeks. That conference is screwed up.
I know. I
It's-
can never
to me, it's
figure it
almost
out.
like the SAC now. I don't like it. I don't
get
like
me
it.
started.
No, I mean, yeah, they really need to rethink both those conferences. I mean, if you're going to have, if you're going to split them up, I don't know the answers, but what they're doing now doesn't make any sense to me. I'll just leave it at that.
Let's just go back to the way it was.
Well, that's too.
No more comment.
Well, speaking of the standings on the next page, we'll just take a quick game. West Noble's 3-0, Lakeland's 1-1, but I'm pretty sure this is the last game. The last 2 weeks, they don't play other teams in their conference.
How does West Noble play 4 games and Lakeland only play 3?
I don't know. I can't. Well, I think Lakeland plays 1, but I think West Noble's done. Is my point.
So they could get it to 3-1.
Right.
Okay.
And but so if there's a tiebreaker, Lakeland should win if they upset West Noble tomorrow night. But yeah, I don't know. But there's not going to be. I don't know if Garrett could be in the conversation still. Don't get me started. It's silly. All right.
Let's look at the standings real quick. I just want you to focus on 2 teams: Bishop Dwenger and
Are
Bishop
we
Lures.
here or this
Yeah.
or blowing smoke?
Standings:
Okay.
Bishop Dwenger and Bishop Lures.
Yes.
Points for opponents' points compared to everybody else.
Yeah, it's something.
It's
else, huh?
okay. It's okay, but that just shows you what tomorrow night could shape up to be another 0-0 overtime
A slog.
and see what happens. Defensive football.
That could be a subject in our buy or sell.
We'll see.
All right, Jake, you ready to shine, my man?
I'm ready to sell.
Well, Jake's done a nice job again, juggling so much, especially with your dad. Thank you for all your contributions every week. This particular piece, though, I thought was really beneficial and great for young players and their parents still trying to navigate the recruiting process. And I'll let you take it away.
So for all of you, parents, players, anybody that's gotten something out of this, keep in mind the sponsor or advertiser on this is Mike Barber from Bob Thomas Ford in their commercial division. So if you're looking to support this thing, go see them because he has a son that plays college football and is one of the people that kind of architected along with Rob Livingston and some of these guys from Leo that really paved the way for some undervalued players to get signed. So love that guy. Huge shout to him and his son. And as we've gone through the Snake Eye section this year, it's been fun for me because as we've said in past episodes, usually we're recruiting, scouting players, right? And so this year we wanted to try to help use the things we've learned from different folks to help kind of write a playbook to help parents and players start their collegiate journey. And so many kids want to play college football. And we talk about all the time about majority of 7% or less chance you have to move on from high school athletics and play at the collegiate level. There's some things that you need to be doing the right way. And so as we've talked to some coaches and we've shown some and highlighted some schools, this week it was kind of putting some of those things together and giving kind of a checklist of things that if you're not doing as a player or a parent, you should be. And if you're not, you're only hurting yourself in this game. And with the transfer portal right now, you have to be keying in and doing the right things. And obviously being a student athlete, the first thing is you have to have the highest GPA you can accumulate. And if you're one of these guys that thinks you're just going to let athletics take over and that, edge 3.0 that you've got that, you're barely eligible and, you're constantly struggling, use the help. I tell my son this all the time. You've got to be available for your team. And a lot of times these teachers are just looking for that effort. Don't have missing assignments. There's so many times where kids are, well, yeah, did you turn everything in? No, I'm missing 4 assignments. If I'm your teacher, I'm not passing you either. So quit being lazy and do what you need to do. And if you struggle in certain subjects, that's okay. I use my son for an example. Xander is horrible at geometry. So I challenge him every week. When I'm looking at his Power School app, and you parents should be utilizing these apps that we have now, stay on your kids' butts. If they want to play college sports, keep their grades up. And if they struggle in certain parts of academics, reach out to those teachers, sit at a study table, do what you have to do. And I will never stop harping how easy it is to squeeze 2 or 3 tenths of a point on your GPA just by showing up and working hard and giving that effort. Then from there, you need your NCAA ID number to be active. You can get on the website and figure that out. We may post a link to that on the X just so it's a little easier for you. It's very easy to do. The other thing is, take the football or the sports out of the equation for a minute. And remember, when this is over, what are you going to be doing the rest of your life? So it's cool to say, hey, I went to go play at X school. But if X school isn't known for what you want to go to do as an adult, maybe you should take that into consideration too. And a university that I pitch a lot is Rose-Hulman. Schools like that maybe you're a guy that you want to play college football. Maybe you're not a Division I player, but you want an engineering degree. That's a place to go to get an engineering degree. They're known for it. So think about those things. Specialized diplomas that you can get in different career fields that are going to help you for the rest of your life. That's using football to be a vehicle to get that for you. So keep that in mind. Quickly, the rest of the things, you want to be seen in person. You want to be seen online. That means you need to be going to the mega camps and going to the invited camps, but also all you guys should know this by now. Just because you're getting 38 emails and text messages that you're going to this camp, there's an invite. My son's got 150 invites to soccer camps and he's a JV player. Okay. My son is not a Division I player at IU. Xander is going to be playing at Indiana Tech if he gets an opportunity. Okay. You have to be a realist with what you are and what you're going to do. And you want to target those things. So I know my son and where his level is. If he wants to play collegiate athletics, I'm going to be taking him to, Indiana Tech, schools of that nature. So be real with yourself and then target those things because it's all a money game. They will take every dollar that you give them. And if your parents want to go spend $5,000, $6,000, $10,000, $20,000 on camps and showcases, they'll take it gladly. And if you're not really at that level, you have to be honest with yourself. So go to the U of Indy mega camp and they're going to tell you kind of where you fit in. You go down there and compete and they're going to say, hey buddy, you're a D2 player and here's some schools that are going to fit you. And then you can start working from there. So that's being seen in public. Being seen online is building your brand. And you see so many schools now and recruiters and admissions departments that are talking about with the transfer portal. It's so tough now to get on teams. You better not be posting stuff online that makes you look like a stooge. Okay. Nobody cares about your latest TikTok dance video, guys. It's not going to help your recruiting. What they care about is, hey, what was your squat PR? Did you just set, a 400-pound squat and you tag your teammates who are spotting you and some of the coaches and the recruiting departments that are looking at you? Those are the things you want to do. And you want to be highlighting your teammates because this is a team sport. So when you get that, big rivalry week win this week, you tag your teammates and say, hey guys, great team win, took the whole team to win. You want to be seen as a good teammate. The way that you identify yourself with your brand is going to help you a ton. You do not want to be posting hurtful posts or things that are going to get you in hot water because that's the first thing these guys are looking at. If you have a parent who's posting on X saying crazy things like that's not helping your recruiting. So talk to your family, talk to your grandma that is tweeting from Florida saying, I can't believe they didn't play you on that 4th down. That coach sucks. You don't want to put that out there. Positive stuff only.
Come on, Grandma.
Yeah, come on, Grandma. Keep the communication up, and I'll wrap this up quick. Being honest with yourself, as I said, and when you get those tough discussions where they say, hey, maybe you're an NAIA level guy, that's okay. Get in that offseason, traction, OPS, Parkview Sports Medicine. Train yourself up in the offseason to put yourself in the best position. And then last but not least, lean on our local guys. Tom Loy, Alan True, and especially Brian Alt. If you guys aren't following him on Twitter or X, you should be following him because he's given the playbook on how to share film properly, how to communicate with recruiting, how to communicate with coaches. And there's a way to communicate properly and not be annoying and put yourself on the top of the pile on those lists of players coming out. So I know that was long-winded and there's a lot of information there, but guys, keep playing hard, get your grades up, do the right things, play college football, get that dang degree. That's what I got to say.
Excellent. Thank you, Jake. Yeah, that was fun. I read through all that the other day and I thought, wow, there's some really great nuggets in here. So hopefully parents and players alike will heed some of that advice. Thank you for putting that together. All right, let's take a peek at the leaders board, Jackson. Just give us 2 minutes here. If you guys have any thoughts on this, I look at the passing. We got 10 guys with over 1,000 yards. What a race that is. If you had to project, everybody's going to play 10 games, right? At least 10 games. Who will be the 10-game leaders from these 4 or 5 categories, I guess, if you're counting sacks and interceptions? Do you think there's going to be any movement here in the next 4 games? Jeff?
No, I think I like Jaden Rivers. I think they're going to be in some close games too. I think sometimes some of those other guys might get into blowouts, might have
to
to
sit.
sit back a little bit. But after watching him and the way they throw the ball, and like I said, I like their scheme. I like the receivers. I think he's gonna kind of stay up there. I mean, he's at what is that, almost 300 yards a game, or
Mhm.
or right there.
It's on pace for like 3,000.
Yeah, I mean that's. I mean, I don't know what's the single season record, anyways, in the city.
Well, it's
I mean,
probably
isn't that guy up
what's his name?
Carson or
Yeah.
Clark or Norm or
Norm.
who is it?
Norm.
Norm?
It's Storm and Norman.
Storm and Norman.
I
Yeah,
believe,
Storm
yeah.
and Norman, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Single season, and I think Carson Clark has the career, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And Norm Knapke
For single season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that could be in
And,
jeopardy,
yeah, could be.
especially if they make a little bit of a run. Brent, any of those that surprise you right now, or anybody you think, maybe rises to the top in receiving or rushing?
I like the east side attack with Richmond. I mean,
Joe Richmond. I mean, they just plug in quarterbacks up there, don't they?
well, we compared him to
Yeah. Who's our guy? Our east side
east
quarterback
side quarterback
from a few
from
years ago?
about 3 years ago,
Played it
4 years ago. Played at St. Francis.
briefly. I knew you were going to do this to me again.
I always go back to him
You'll
because
come up with
he
it.
was a great dual threat quarterback in that offense, and he ran that offense to perfection. I see a lot of Job in him. I like the way he controls this offense and runs it. And I think, like we were talking earlier, that 2A sectional with Bluffton,
Oh, it's going to be fun.
AC, East Side, it's gonna be fun to watch.
Well, I think Nate Foster ends up winning that. I mean, even though they've got some games maybe where they pull him early. Last week, I think he averaged like 43 yards a carry or something obnoxious. So I think he's the real deal. And I think the receiving race might be the best one of all. I mean, you look at the guys on that list: Jaden Van Pelt, Kean Arroyo, Malik Moore, Wes Somerset, Alex Scott, Jimmy Linker, Xavier Bell. I mean, it's going to be a fantastic race. And don't discount those other guys at the
My
bottom.
math's not too great, but Van Pelt's averaging like 18 yards of reception.
Not too shabby.
Oh,
I think you're
that's pretty good.
Yeah. He's a fantastic player, and again, he missed a game, which and they're trying to run the ball, so I feel like his numbers have probably been suppressed a little bit. All right, let's get out of that and go into the blowing smoke real quick. If you guys have any thoughts here, I'm going to start with Jake, and then we'll pass it around to you guys in order. Snake, any surprises on this list, or anything you disagree with, or anything you want to agree with?
Yeah, I think I kind of like where Warsaw's at right now, knowing a little bit about that program. They got a tough one against Mishawaka coming up this week, and that'll kind of solidify where they end up. I mean, Leo looks pretty good in there. I think you're probably fair with where you've got Homestead under Bluffton, but I value the Spartans a little bit more than that right now. I think they're trending up. That's probably my biggest takeaways. East Side climbing a little bit too. They've recovered really well after the Busco loss. If I was Busco, I would not want to play them again in the sectional.
You like this feature?
Yeah, no, I think this is really cool. And we like cigars, and we are not promoting smoking tobacco products unless you're of age
Or you're a dog?
or you're a dog, like the picture. But Casey and I have smoked some sticks for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And my dogs are both of age.
Yes.
And Annie is 21 and a half.
Is it 21 now?
No, it's
Yeah.
21 now for Nick. Yeah,
Wow.
for smoking, and Annie is in dog years 21. So she can
Fantastic.
smoke. Jeff,
No, we have the Bishop Lure Smoker coming up on October 18th. So come out, have some cigars. We've got
21 and older.
yeah, 21 and older. Yeah, come on out.
that
I got some
Catholics, they
tickets.
love their smokers, don't they? The Catholics love
Notre
their
Dame
smokers.
USC game, so
That's
that'll
right.
be the feature.
All right.
Good pup.
Yeah, I think these are. I think it's pretty good. The only thing I have to say is, didn't South Adams beat Heritage 42-14? And you got South Adams below Heritage.
Well, I think that Heritage, that 14-7 game stood out for the
That's
Swami
about
against Adams
Of
Central. Yeah. Sometimes the head-to-heads they translate to this, and other times the Swami just punishes people. He can't help himself. But yeah, I think that's fair. That's a fair assessment. What about Bishop Lures? You're a Lures guy. They're still hovering outside the top 10. You think that's where they belong?
I think that's fair right now. Yeah, I think obviously tomorrow's game will be could move up quite a bit or move down quite a bit depending on the showing.
West Noble right on their heels. What do you think, Brent? Any thoughts?
I really like what I see from Northside, but 14, 13, 12 probably is right. I like it. I think this is the best work you've done.
Well, thank you. I will say, I said it before, it's because of you that we had a poll in the past on the back page from the Swami, and now we have the top 25. And I will say there's, I'm speaking for the Swami here because it's not me, but as the Swami's putting this together, there's times that he's like, do I really want to do this? But it's fun. I like the juxtaposition and the moving people around from week to week. And it is a little bit snarky, and it's supposed to be kind of fun.
And I like the Jalen Smith versus Jim Carroll reference.
Oh yeah, a cage match. Who do you think would win that?
He's Jim Carroll's got a lot of toughness in his bones.
Yeah,
he's pretty feisty.
He's very feisty.
Yeah, he's pretty feisty for an old geezer. And
Jalen-
except when he went head to head against the St. Vincent's Panthers about 12 years ago and got destroyed 27-0. But besides that, he's a pretty feisty character. I think if he got a hold of Jalen's like leg or something and started gnawing on it,
He's more mafia than people.
He definitely fight dirty.
would think.
more mafia. Okay, wow, that thing that went a different direction.
But Jalen is a specimen. So
My money's on Jalen.
Yeah.
All right, where are we at in this show? What's the score? Did the Yankees score?
no
Yankees are down
zeros.
Oh, everybody hates the Yankees. What's wrong with you guys? All right. Oh, buy sell. So give us if you would maybe 4 minutes on each of these, Jackson. We're going to do a buy sell special edition for the Battle of the Bishops. I do want your input on these too, Jake, but I'm going to tee these guys up probably initially. The first statement. Now, Brent, maybe you can help set this one up. You're the one that shared the post by Bernard Pollard, former Southside great, who of course went to Purdue and then started in the NFL. He made a statement on social media.
So
I
it's
assume
fair
on
game.
X. Yeah, it's fair game. And in a nutshell, and I'm paraphrasing here, but Bernard said something to the effect of,
I'm gonna quote it.
okay, go ahead and quote it, and then I can take it from there, and then I'll come back to you.
So you had your post up. Jeff did at Summit City
Of the cover in the
of
magazine.
cover, and Bernard Pollard said, "Question: How are they 3-3 with that O line?" Wow. And then somebody said, "For real?" And then he replied, "I'm sorry, bro, but I will never have a team at 500 with an O line that big in high school. I'm putting weight on everybody."
Okay.
That's
So the buy or sell,
That's a
And-
pro player who I think he's coaching high school football in Tennessee.
I believe so. He's got I think a son that's playing at a pretty
Very-
high level.
Yes,
He's
great,
knowledgeable,
very knowledgeable,
and he loves Fort Wayne football.
loves it. He
for
still pays attention.
He does. And Bernard, if you happen to be watching, hello, he's one of our
Hall of
favorites.
Famer,
Yeah,
all the things.
absolutely. So our first buy and sell, the statement is the Bishop Lures Trench Monsters, offense and defense, are overrated. Brent, I'll come to you. Are you buying that or selling that?
Can I split them?
You can do whatever you want.
D line, I'm selling. They are not overrated. That D line gets after the quarterback. They stay in their gaps. They stop the run. Their weakness is probably trap reaction. They like to fly upfield because they're really aggressive. But they've done a great job, and I think that's where they are going to stop Dwenger is running the ball.
With the Taylor boys,
Yes.
right?
Jaron and Ale.
In Ale.
And
And
they
then
got
who are
some
the
other-
two guys, the two deep down linemen? They're brothers too, aren't they?
Yeah,
What are those fellas' name? The defensive tackles.
The two defensive
that
tackles.
are brothers?
Oh,
not the Taylors, the other brothers.
the other brothers, the Nick and oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Sorry.
That's all right. I put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Well, it'll come to you. But I want to give them a shout out too because they're young guys, aren't they?
They stop the run. They get after the quarterback. They're super aggressive, and they have good linebackers behind them.
So you're selling that.
I'm selling that.
Okay.
Offensive line, I haven't seen enough against good fronts. They're massive, according to your.
That's
your-
fair. They are
they're
massive.
Massive. Now, we did talk about how Jonas is new to football. He's getting better, but now there's a true test. Dwenger. You got Shefferly. You got Houston Ellinger, who's going to fly down to make plays. You got a aggressive fly the football defense. So I'm buying that they're overrated at this point. Now tomorrow night at 10 p.m., I could text you and say, another horrible call by me, just like South Adams AC.
And you're selling at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeff.
I'm selling that. That's a little. I think that's not correct in the sense that think of who they played. They had to play Leo. They played Andrean, who was monstrous, right? They're huge, Andrean.
Yes.
Snyder, and yet they still average. They got a running back that's averaging over 100 yards a game. In Epperson, they got Gaither that's averaging 80. So you're almost at 200 yards there. I think, and then Ryan Palmer's doing a great job. They've slowly had to kind of gel because they moved Zach Wall from tackle to center. That was a big move, and it was late, right before the season started. So he was kind of learning a little bit of a new position. And then with Jonas, he's never played football before. Just learning the position.
And they've won 3 in a row.
And they've got things rolling now. It took a little bit to get things going, but again, we'll see tomorrow against a good front. And then defensively, I think obviously the Taylor boys are just dominating force and giving up. Teams can pass against them. I've seen them pass against them, but I have not seen really a team run against them. That's
a good point.
That's a key, and I think that'll be a key tomorrow night too. Is that their strength is run defense.
Dwanger will have to throw if this is going to be a game they win. I think Dwanger will have to throw the ball.
The Holly brothers.
Holly.
Sorry,
that was
Nick
thinking of,
Holly.
right?
Yes,
Nick and
yeah,
Darius.
Thank you. Yes.
Freshman and
sophomore.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
young dudes.
They're
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, sorry
They're
guys,
big.
I didn't remember your name.
Sorry,
Give me a few years, right? And we'll be old hat in a few years when you're veterans, but they're really good for young kids. And that front four, I think, is the best front four in the area. Do you guys agree with that?
agree.
Are you buying or selling any of this, Jake? I know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't like the buy and sell when you're talking about how good the kids are. It's just tough, man. I think both O line.
We're doing a unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the Lures D line's solid, man. I really do. Just
Very
like
good.
just like Brent said, I just think they're just the size, the intangibles, they're monsters. And again, I probably would agree with that too on the offensive line. Let's see how this game goes, and then I can make a little bit more of a determination. I think this game against Winger is going to be a definite tell to how solid they are.
For sure. It's a bellwether game for sure. And listen, that's not a knock on any of those kids at all. We love how they play. And you know what? Use that maybe as a little bit of inspiration.
Yeah, when you see an NFL guy making that
Exactly.
comment, you're like,
Whoa, what's he
it
see?
just
What's
kind
he
of opened my eyes, like, what's he talking about?
Right. Well, it's something for us to keep an eye on tomorrow night. And I know Coach, is it Mick?
Ryan.
Ryan.
Coach
Palmer.
Ryan and
Yeah.
Mick is the D line coach.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, those guys will have them, ready.
And you
to
got to
go.
remember, they got 2 sophomore running backs, a sophomore quarterback, a sophomore receiver. So
Yeah.
they're young at the skill position. And I
Right.
know you love the lines, but you got to have some older skill
That's your
guys.
spread crap. All right, let's just get serious.
Let's get into this. Here we go.
Speaking of,
Here we
I
go.
love-
This is gonna be good.
I love what Kyle Lindsay has done. He said, we have young players everywhere except our offensive line. We are going to get in under center with a fullback. I would like to see him just 100% do it. Just no more spread. Let's just buy into this offensive line. Commit
you want
to
that
them.
double tight, don't you?
I want a flanker formation like it's 1984, and we just pound the rock. 3 yards, 4 yards, and we're happy with it.
Yeah,
Cal Miller.
let's,
Just give him.
uh,
Just
Patient, patient.
give
You
Cal
cannot-
Miller the rock.
Let's move into the 21st century. You gotta be able to
Speaking of
especially
which,
against the
40-year
really good
anniversary for
teams.
that state championship team, 1985.
You can't go spread when you just made the argument for me. You get sophomore quarterback, sophomore receiver, sophomore running back. Let's get the flankers. Let's get Jaron Taylor at tight end, make him a big tight end, get big splits, and attack Dwanger right in the middle of the
I
field.
wish you guys were in meetings and film room with.
This is
This
what
is
we
nothing.
did.
This
This
is
is
how it
what we
would be.
did.
This
But
is how it
I
used to
was the
be.
OC and he was the
This is how it
the
used to
line
be.
coach. We'd argue back and forth.
Oh,
So
Get
many-
under
many
center,
a
run the
time.
ball. And I'd be like, no, we're spreading it out.
let me be the tiebreaker. In the words of the late great Mike Leach, give me spread till I'm dead. The NFL needs to outlaw tight formations. There should be
Ah.
no flex bone, no power eye. Get rid of all of it. Spread it out, baby. Sling it.
No,
No
No.
tush push.
I'm against all of the spread.
I'm with you.
Actually,
I like some power. I
that's-
think what you devised there makes a lot of sense, especially this week
That's this week.
against Bishop
I'd
Dwanger.
agree with that.
I will I'm complimenting Coach Lindsey because he's not a guy who's just like, well, this is my offense. These kids are gonna fit into this
No,
offense.
he
and
will
we're gonna run."
adapt
He's
and
like,
adjust to his
"Okay, This is
personnel.
what I have. This is what we're gonna have to do," and
Well,
he's doing it.
Maybe we'll see some of that tomorrow night.
Oh,
If
gosh.
so,
I have no inside information. I just want to make that
okay.
very clear.
All right. Well,
I
it'll be
have
fun. All
zero.
right. The second one, we went way over. Jackson, get us started off here and keep us on track, Jackson. You have one assignment. You're texting your girlfriend and checking on your goats, for crying out loud. Holy mackerel. All right. The second statement from the Battle of the Bishops, buy or sell. Bishop Dwenger should abandon the spread
Oh, here we go.
on
Here we go.
offense. I'm going to start with you, Jeff,
Yes.
and then we're going to go to Jake and Brent will finish up. Should they abandon the spread?
First off, when we run the spread, it doesn't mean you're soft. You can be the most physical team in the spread
Did I say
and
it? I
pound
never
the
said
ball.
that.
So all I'm saying is you can be physical in the spread, and you got to be able to run the ball. The spread is to create lanes and to create being able to run the ball. And if you
selling this,
I am selling this, and Dwenger's going to come up against a really good team at some point that they cannot run the ball and aren't bigger than and stronger than that can just run it down. And so maybe it's not the best thing at this point, but you need to work on it and continue to get better at it so that you can use this when you need to.
that's fair. Brent. Oh no, Jake. Sorry, Jake. What are your thoughts? You've seen a little bit of Bishop Dwenger, maybe not as much as we have, but
For sure.
you know that they've struggled offensively. What are your thoughts on that concept? Are you buying that, or are you selling? I think I know what you're going to say.
Again, to preface what I just said, I think power football should be outlawed. It should be gone. They should be in the spread. Look at teams like Lincoln Riley coach teams where they go with GT counterattack going out of the spread formations. You get some pullers going. You can wham down on guys, get wide lanes. Mike Leach made it famous. Hal Mummy, all the original air raid guys. Hey, it's modern football. I love it.
Talk to me, Jake.
No, you guys are just skill guys. You don't get it.
I will give him we are skill guys, and he knows more about line than me. For
What
sure.
you can
So,
do as an offense is very simple. You want to create gaps and space. It's called splits. You know what splits are up front?
yeah, hey, but
So you put 7 guys across the line of scrimmage and you get a 2-foot, 3-foot split. You are creating that defense has to spread with you. If they do not, you have the edge and you can attack the edge. If they do spread with you, you can run duo where you just double team inside and your running back follows. And you know what else you can do out of big formations? Play action and throw the ball up to Beckham Russell. I'm telling Dwenger, put Shefferly at fullback. I saw it against Northrop, and they put Colin Campbell at tailback, run the ball at Lures, play action to Beckham Russell. And that's how you're going to beat Lures, by play action after you establish the run and your power set.
Are you still going back to that fullback dive, which was so successful
So,
last week against
yes,
Northrop,
you
and they
know
went
why?
away from it?
Because
And what about Houston Ellinger?
Yeah,
Also
if they-
running the ball.
I understand why they're not, because he's playing every down. But in a big game like this, if you're struggling, he's a good mix with Colin Campbell. But Shefferly is the key at fullback. That quick dive that hits very quickly before the linebackers can even get out of their stance, you're getting 3 yards. And then you have Beckham Russell on the outside, play action and go over the top.
So you're buying this.
Get rid of it.
Are you buying just for this game or for the rest of the season?
This is a team, if you want to test your theory of what Coach Sansey says, is you're going to run up a team that you can't run the ball. Lures is pretty good against stopping the run. I want to see if they can do it, and I think they can. I think they can get in a pro formation where you have 2 receivers and a fullback and a tailback. And you can still spread people out that way, and you can use motion out of pro formations because you're running back and Shefferly's basically a tight end H-back. You can motion him out if you want to go spread. But I like the fullback in these type of situations when the quarterbacks are struggling to get the ball into places where they can be successful.
Well, and Henry Jordan, the senior quarterback, at times, I mean, it feels to me too many reads, too much.
But I want to give
Simplify his reads, in my opinion, 1 or 2.
I will say I have not seen many people open, especially last week when he was throwing the ball.
Yes,
There were not guys. I don't know if they have receivers that aren't separating or if the scheme's not
Well,
exactly
that
right.
could be
I
Northrop's
don't-
secondary
yeah.
too.
It might be, but he did not have guys to throw to. Last
I do
week.
want to give Dwenger the benefit of the doubt, though. This is the first year of the scheme, the first time they've really committed to the spread.
Correct.
So it does take time, but the success they had last week, like you were talking about the fullback give and just power football. I didn't see any play action off of it. And Beckham Russell, he's a heck of an athlete.
Right. And they did have, I think, a couple screen passes to Houston Ellinger. So that's part of the
And
equation
they had a little
too.
wildcat out of that too.
Yeah. So it's going to be a great matchup. And I kind of feel I'm playing both sides of the fence. I feel like tomorrow night, commit to the run,
I think
set up
both
play
teams-
action. And I think long term, to your point, Coach, it has to be part of their evolution if they're going to win a state
Are you
championship.
hedging?
I'm hedging. I'm playing both sides. I'm like John Kerry. I'm a flip flopper.
I mean, you're just
I know. You know what? It's my basement. Get your own magazine. All right, here we go. That was for you, Joe Walburn. All right, last one on the buy sell, real quick. Bishop Battle of Bishops edition. The over under for Bishop Dwenger, Bishop Lures tomorrow night is 13 points. Jake, are you buying that or selling that or just?
you got to say over under there. How do you buy that?
Well, I'm just saying you can. Okay.
What is
How about not buy or sell? Are you taking the over or under? 13 points. How's that? Go ahead.
under?
You don't think the two teams combined for more than 13?
No, I think it's going to be the fastest game of the year, speed time wise. I think it starts at 7. I'll be in my car about 8:40, pulling out after the game's over, and I think it's a 6-0, 6-3 game.
Okay. Is that an
But
overtime? Is it
advantage-
0-0
this is-
after regulation
This is the advantage that Dwenger has is their upperclassmen special teams.
or superior? They're really good.
Lures has a sophomore who's made a lot of kicks, but not pressure kicks. And he's a sophomore.
Well,
he made one in
I
overtime
was
against
gonna say, he made one
Northside.
against Northside.
He made a
in
big one. It
overtime.
wasn't very deep, but it was clutch.
But if you're putting the two kickers against each other,
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah,
take
that's
the
unfair.
senior. I mean,
Lucas Wynn. Let's give a quick shout out to Lucas Wynn.
he had a 53
53-yarder. And I think unofficially that's the longest kick in Fort Wayne history. I haven't been
Oh.
able to confirm that.
Wait, in like SAC play, or
I think so.
I think Chris Kramer back in the.
Did he have more than 53?
I don't know if he had that long.
I thought in the dome he kicked one for like 54 or something, 56.
Well, he
Well,
might
we'll
have.
look
We'd
it up.
have to look it up.
Look
Chris
it up.
Kramer was a great one for Bishop Lures. Coach, over under total points.
I mean, 13 points. You got to go over on that, right? I mean,
Okay, Brent's going under.
I know he's
You're going
going
over?
under, but that's I could see a defensive touchdown, special teams touchdown, a short field, something like that.
Sure.
Don't be surprised because this happens every year. Coach Garrett will pull something out and go for a 2-point play, and try to surprise you on something.
The old
That
the
could make
old
a difference whether he makes
swinging
it or not.
fencer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
Um,
Gate. Thank you.
but yeah, I think just 13 is just a little too low for me. I know it's going to be a defensive game, but I could definitely see a defensive score too.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
it
or a
feels
short
last year it
field.
was 8-0.
Yeah.
And I think I could be wrong, but I feel like Dwyer got 2 field goals and a safety. Is that right?
I think that is. I was trying to
Is that
remember.
right?
I
if it
didn't.
was-
I didn't do any research on that. That's just going off memory. But it was an ugly offensive game, and it does feel like it could be that way this year. But 13 points seems awful low. But Jake, what do you think? Are you going over or under on the combo points?
I had to use fingers and toes because I graduated from Columbia City to add this.
Oh,
But we're going under. Final score 9-3. 12 total points.
Yeah, Lucas Wynn could be the difference. Man, that kid's so good. I want to see him get some more opportunities at the next level because he's really worked hard at his craft. I'm seeing like a 13-6 Dwenger win, and they get that in overtime, like 6-6 going into overtime is what I'm feeling. So that would put us at 12, but again, overtime would
if
would
Lures
push it
can
over.
eliminate, and I think they played their cleanest game against Concordia, but if they can eliminate the pre-snap penalties and some of the personal foul stuff, that's where Dwenger could have another advantage. Lures has to clean that stuff up to give themselves a chance.
It's going to be a fun one. Can't wait. All right. Let's get the predictions. Why don't we'll just whip through this. You don't need to put clocks on us. I'll get these guys. Let's do a round table. All 3 of you guys. I'll just tee you up, maybe talk just briefly, why you're picking, who you're picking. We'll go through the back page, the featured matchups. Jake, I'm going to start with you first. Bishop Dwenger at Bishop Lures. Swami says Dwenger by 7, 13-6.
Yeah, I don't think they cover that 7 points. I think it's going to be Dwenger, like I said, 9-3.
Okay, well, by a point. My mercy.
Yes, one point.
Why do you do these things to me, Jake? All right, Coach, what do you think?
Yeah, I would definitely take the points there. I just think it's, with Lures defense, they're going to keep it close. And I think 7 points is a lot when you got a defense like Lures does. And so I think they'll cover.
Who do you think wins? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh boy. I think home field advantage, a little momentum with 3 wins in a row.
Taking
I like the Knights by 1.
Oh, my mercy. Thank you. All right, Brent X.
If Lures can run the ball for 150 yards, they win.
150 is your marker?
Yep. If
Okay.
they can run the ball 150 yards, they win.
You guys just want to make sure you get invited to the cigar special, right?
Actually, we're hosting it.
Let me get an invite.
I gotta face a football player.
Save a couple good sticks for me.
I
The
gotta
Swami
make-
loves a good
I
cigar.
would say probably Dwenger 6-3.
Okay, so all of you guys are taking Lures in the points. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
But 2 of you think Dwenger wins.
Yeah.
Okay,
very
that sounds
close.
fair. Brent, I'm going to come right back to you.
Okay.
Totem pole. A lot of history. This is a fun one. Swami is taking Southside in an upset special. The Archers by 1. Is he crazy?
I don't think Coach Johnson will let his team overthink South. I think Northside by 10.
Okay. Jeff?
Yeah, I was kind of along the same way. I think as much as I like Coach Goodwell and the way that team's playing, and I think it'll be close though. I mean, I do think it'll be a 1-score game or less. I think Northside wins.
But you agree if Southside pulls that off, it's an upset. Fair?
Oh, yeah.
Both of you?
Yes,
How
not
about
a
you,
major
Snake?
upset, but an upset.
Yeah, if South wins in any margin, that's a major upset. They're going to play proud. I agree. I think it'll be a closer game than people expect, but I think North wins that game.
Okay. We're going to come right back to you, Snake. Swami's East Noble at Columbia City. Swami said East Noble by 22. It feels like they're about ready to bust the cap off of something and just put a big number up, but they've also had some scores that have been relatively close. Does that 22 seem right to you?
Well, since we got to give a shout out to Lee Corso on this one, and I'm going to get the Snake involved here.
Get out.
We've got to get the Snake here because I can feel the vibes and the mojo, and the Snakes are around, and they just speak to me and tell me. And so we got to pick up the winning helmet, and unfortunately for the Eagles this week, I'm kidding. There's no way, baby. There's no way. Eagles by 35, running clock at half, and we house them. East Noble goes down. Championship dreams are dashed, and the Eagles win it, baby, and we party in Columbia City.
on your
I tried. It won't fit, but I am going to hold it. I am going to hold and I try to hide the receding hairline coming in. Eagles by 35 all day, baby.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Well,
That's for you, Coach Fox.
all right. You know what? 22. So you like the 22 points in your favor is what you're saying. That sounds fair. How about you, Coach?
Man, I thought I was a homer with Lures. Boy.
He hasn't been down here in a few weeks. Cut him some slack.
No, I think East Noble covers. I think they've got a team that just seems to keep rolling and being 6-0. I think they cover. Maybe not by a lot, but win by about 25, 30 points.
Okay. Brent,
I'm with Coach Stancy on that. I think East Noble is
35-7, something like that.
They're just better everywhere. I love Alex Scott. I love the way the quarterback throws the ball. I like East Noble.
Okay. Well, remember they played DeKalb and it was a dogfight, 14-7, and so maybe there's something there on film that Columbia City can take defensively to keep that thing down. Yes.
Wait a minute. East Noble runs more of a spread offense, and Columbia City runs an old school power offense.
It's true.
To your point,
I think you have to coach to the players you have.
that's a very good point. I do agree with that all the way. Very good point.
And you look at Alex Scott, they can take people out of the box and then they can run it with Phillips, both the Phillips brothers.
Okay. Coach, coming to you. Last featured game, Bluffton at Heritage. Swami says Bluffton by 13. Remember, they got smoked last year in this matchup. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like Bluffton here. I like Best at quarterback. I really like the way their offense is running. But I do think Heritage with their defense can keep it close. And I do think Bluffton, if there's a weakness, it's Bluffton's defense. And I think, Heritage might be able to run the ball a little bit on them.
You like Bluffton to win,
Bluffton to win,
but Heritage in the points.
but Heritage covers.
Brent.
Here's the problem. When you get in the spread like Bluffton likes to do, a lot of bad things can happen. You can You can get interceptions.
He just made him flip.
I love it.
You can get interceptions. You can get some stracks, some strip fumbles, strip sacks.
Strax.
Yeah, stracks.
Oh, I'm going to use that next week.
I like Heritage to keep it close. I think it's a 1 touchdown game.
Okay, so you agree with Coach. What do you think?
Yep, same thing across the board. I think it's closer than the spread shows.
Okay. I'm going with the Swami. I think Bluffton wins by 13.
Mm.
All right, let's go to the undercard. You can pick college games, but you're going to pick 2 each, and you can't replicate. You're going to do one at a time. You want to go first, Brent?
Sure.
You pick the first game. Go ahead. Tell us what the game is and what the Swami said.
I'm going to go Concordia at Wayne. Swami has Concordia by 2. I think this is Coach White's first win.
Okay. You like Coach White, don't you?
I think they're hungry. He's growing the program. The confidence is coming. I know they're getting beat. This is a chance, and I think
This is an upset too. Truthfully, I think this is an upset too if Concordia wins because they're so young. But there's just something about that team, and you mentioned some of those defensive players with Hayworth, Allman, and then you've got the QB Eli Trent. I just think he's a gamer. Maybe he makes a play late. Coach, what are your thoughts? You pick another game.
Looking at this, it kind of makes me being a Snyder coach, a little sick to see Northrop favored by 20.
That's a lot of points.
That is a lot of points there. I got to take Snyder in a rivalry game.
Snyder pride.
Snyder pride. I think the Panthers cover. I do think Northrop probably wins that game by maybe even a couple scores. They're just, watching them last week.
Too much.
I think 20 is just a little much.
Well, again, Snyder giving up 38 points last week and scoring 0 against Homestead. It just makes you wonder where they're at mentally. And it's a proud program, as you know, and I'm sure that they'll see that spread and be like, oh, my mercy. Jake, what game do you want to single out?
Warsaw at Mishawaka. And Coach Curtis used to coach the Cavemen. 14-point spread, Mishawaka, no chance. Warsaw gets it done by 3. The Tigers, even though they struggled hard against Concord, Warsaw can get it done, baby.
Concord's got a great quarterback.
Yes.
They do. Now, Warsaw beat Plymouth last week, and the Swami called Plymouth the Pilgrims. They're supposed to be the Rockies on the gridiron, but they played like Pilgrims. I just wanted to point that out. And I like Pilgrims and Puritans and, all those folks. Yeah, but no, I'm just joking. Warsaw, they've been kind of disappointing the last couple of weeks, so we'll keep an eye on that one. All right, Jake, I'm coming back to you. Pick another game.
Cherubusco at Central Noble. Unfortunately, the Cougars are a spread team that I'm a fan of, and they throw a lot of incompletions. I think Busco wins this game with a running clock, 35+. Okay.
Mark it down. Coach?
I'm taking the Purdue Boilermakers winning outright. Upset.
Oh, my gosh.
Illinois coming off of a big win. Little letdown. The Boilers are playing better football these days. I'll be there, so give me something to root for.
A lot of Purdue guys in the cave today. This has been making me a little uneasy. But I think that's a good call out. I think Coach Odom's done a really nice job. The product's different. You can tell.
The offense is so much better.
It's so much better. The defense,
some good spread.
Still, there we go. The spread again, Brent. You just can't help yourself.
You can buy players. You can be in the spread.
All right. You get one more game. What are you feeling?
I like Leo by a lot more than 13. I think they win by 21-24. I think
Huntington North.
Yeah, I think Nate Foster goes nuts.
Over 300 yards nuts?
Combined?
No, just rushing. It's a lot, but
yeah,
he might need it because you got to. Huntington North's good enough; they're going to score, and they're going to
score passing the ball and keep it a high-paced game. Okay. But guess what? I expect 2 defensive touchdowns from Leo.
1 from him, maybe.
Well, at least 1 from him.
Oh, I love it. And maybe he takes over the rushing lead from Joe Bridgman.
He will crown himself the MVP of the area after this game.
Oh, my gosh. Look at this.
To that, I totally agree. And you made a comment upstairs I agree with. The Valpo offer for him was great. And no disrespect to the Valpo program, but I agree that I think he is a higher level running back prospect.
I think safety.
Yeah, I'll tell you who he reminds me of. Mr. Indiana football from East Central a couple years ago, Josh Ringer, who I think is now at Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
Definitely could see him being a MAC player for sure. Just my opinion.
Well, you know what? I need to have 3 guests on every week. I don't have to do any talking. I was able to watch baseball, drink my soda. Well, thank you everybody for watching Around the Fort. What a fun show. Great games tomorrow night, week 7 of the high school football season. Get out and watch some football. Check out some games on summitcitysports.com. Shout out to Jeff. Hopefully Jeff can join us for a segment next week. We're thinking about you, Jeff. Until next week, I am Casey for Jackson, Brent, Jeff, and Jake, the Killer Jays, and BX. This has been Around the Fort. Good night, everybody.